No, 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 Ms. Cara Smell Vagina Breath. You do not get to keep claiming victim status for yourself. When you decided that you wanted to start poking and prodding sticks into the nest of fire ants, you shouldn't be all that surprised when your ass gets bitten all to hell. You don't mess with a swarm unless you intend to get stung. Now, see, this thing with you could have been avoided from the very beginning. All you would have had to have done was just stayed in your place. Or you could have done the honorable thing. Even if you wanted to take swipes, you could have at least stopped being pretentious, trying to sniff up into somebody's cooch by perpetuating a slanderous lie about somebody. But you chose to be on the shit end of the stick. So now you want to whine and cry and complain now that everybody's essentially getting to know you for the real you. And so in your attempt to try to make yourself look better and look like the put upon victim, you have to twist everything around and talk about, well, I'm the one who's being bullied, I'm the one who's being stalked, I'm the one who's being harassed, I didn't do nothing to nobody, or even if I did, then I haven't been doing anything for over a year. Really. And see, this is your tactic. You always want to whine and cry victim whenever you can't handle the heat of missiles coming right back at you, the same ones that you launch. Sometimes just as nasty, but in the general's case, I try to be a bit nastier. But again, the difference is, I don't just sling ad hominems, I hit you where it hurts, and where I know it hurts. So, that's why you're kind of putting on your little show now. You're being real cautious now, aren't you? About making sure that you're careful about what you say and how you say it, and you're just kind of being all nice and vague about things, and you're not trying to out anybody. Come on, admit it. Say the woman's name. We know you're talking about Ali Emmett. At this point, it's no secret. And no, the fact that Ali Emmett, as you say, got somebody to do her dirty work for her. No, that's not how it happened, dear. Let me explain how it happened. Yes, Ali Emmett did decide to break a confidence, if you will, when she, for whatever reason, pulled a little mea culpa, I guess, with Colonel of Wisdom, because they had some disagreements. Now, Ali and I had our friction ourselves, and again, like I said, to this day, I don't know where she stands in regard to myself, and if she finally starting to come around and understanding where I'm coming from with a lot of the commentaries that I've posted, or if she still has issues with me or feels that I'm being disrespectful or whatever. And again, as I said, she'll let me know if she feels that it's that important to either try to bury the hatchet or just say, hey, not a whole lot has changed about my opinion about you or anything, but as a result of this so-called flame war that's been going on, I'm beginning to understand now why you're so bombastic and why you just keep tearing into these people's ass, because they're showing their true colors. After all this time of me actually trying to give them support, now I feel like I'm being stabbed in the back by them. So yeah, I'm going to at least try to I don't want to say cozy up, because I don't think that's really the proper word, or that's, I don't even believe that's her intent. But she's kind of letting it be known as like, look, I understand now why you folks keep going after this dynamic duo the way that you do. It's because they're really on some effed up S. And for her reasons, Ali chose Colonel of Wisdom to, I guess, maybe girl talk, that sort of thing, or maybe, because again, as everybody pretty much knows, even though I adopted Colonel of Wisdom as my tag team partner, and she was already well aware of my acerbic edge, that I tend not to hold things back, and I do tend to get pretty brutal. She's sort of like the yang to my yin as far as some of these online discussions go, where I'm rough and harsh and abrasive. She gets the same message out, but she tries to be a little more tongue-in-cheek at times, and a bit more even-tempered, if you will. And that makes her message more appealing, except for the disingenuous black harpies out there who take issue over the fact that she's laying them out, even with gentleness and even with tact. But the fact is, as I've said numerous occasions, the truth is not welcome, no matter how it's delivered. And especially if it's coming from who they perceive is one of their own. See, black women are not supposed to, quote-unquote, betray other black women. Never mind that the information is necessary in order to help get them on the straight path. And as I keep explaining, until black women get their act together, black men are never going to get their act together. Not because that black men are being given a pass to do whatever the heck they want to do and not be men, but as I've explained on numerous occasions, black men unfortunately are the weakest men that at least in this country anyway. And they are motivated by the wrong things, and what they're motivated by is easy access to vagina, and as long as they keep getting it, they'll never change. And that's why I keep trying to explain to black women, the power lies in your lap, both figuratively as well as literally. So that has a difficult way of getting out or having people to understand it. And so I do it in one of the ways that I feel is the most effective. I just lay it out and I just go for the knockout blow. And that doesn't set well with too many people, black women or a lot of mangina simp black men who talk about my African queen and I'll die for a black woman and I'll do anything to honor a black woman and I'll always defend a black woman against. Yeah, I'm talking to you, dumb nigga, 65 IQ. You know, and others like you who are always playing this, I'm so desperate for black pussy that I'll just sell my soul to them just to make them look like I'm on their side, because that's going to make me look good in their eyes. Keep it black, hotep. You know, all that good happy stuff. So again, even if Ali was probably trying to reach out to me, again, like I said, I don't know. I'm just kind of like watching the thing from the sidelines. I'm watching her interactions with Colonel of Wisdom right now. And so as far as that goes, she reached out to Colonel and explained that, hey, you know that whole thing that the general's always ratting on, I say this with herpes zits, is always trying to get her to you know, at least stop talking all big and bravado and actually show us what she's made of. Well, here, let me show you exactly what she's so terrified of showing anybody. And of course, as we said, now we understand. And we understand even more because I didn't even know about the phone sex thing, to tell you the honest truth, until like maybe 2 or 3 days ago that I even learned about that. But of course I figured, well there you go. I mean, phone sex. I mean, what, you know, you're not attractive enough to get into real porn. So, you know, that stereotype essentially just holds true, that the women who get involved in phone sex are either fat and or ugly, or they're dudes pretending to be women. Yes, we do have a lot of that, believe it or not. That there's a lot of that does go on. And so Colonel got wind of these things, and of course, you know, she's going to share it with me. because she saw how I was going after that ass and I just would not let up. And she says, "Look at this bitch, you know, I knew she was ugly, but damn, I didn't know she was that ugly." And I dare put myself in a position to actually say this, but I'm going to at least give her a half a mark, because I have to be honest. I say this with rotten crotch is not quite as hideous as I originally thought she would be. I'm still saying she doesn't measure up. Don't get me wrong about that. I mean, that's still a sight to not see. But it surprised me that she's not nearly as unattractive as I thought she would be. And not nearly as fat as I thought she would be. So, but anyway, I said, you know, well, damn, you know, that's just the arsenal in our quiver right there. That's enough to really have some fun with. And I didn't even have to make the suggestion about it, because Colonel was already on the idea of, I want to just go ahead and I just want to spread this out just to get that bitch back, because she's still got my stuff up there and she's still got those videos up there slandering me. And I had no problem with that, except I said, well, if you're going to do that, then at the very least clear it with Ali first. You know, don't just jump ahead of the game, because I don't want it to be exposed that there's this little two-way going on between yous, and there was that betrayal of a confidence on her part. You know, so it was essentially to protect Ali from any ramifications as a result of sharing that. Because you know, if Colonel was going to do that, then like I said, I for one would be back there in her corner to back her up, because I knew that as soon as she did that, all hell was going to break loose. But she's a strong woman; she can handle herself. But I was more concerned about the ramifications that would happen to Ali if these things came out. So I recommended, you know, go to her first before you decide to do anything. So no vagina breath 100%. Ali did not get anybody to do her dirty work for her. Colonel of Wisdom herself had already made the determination of her own volition that she would do this. And had it not been her, I don't know. At this point, you know, I would have difficulty trying to find a way of exposing them myself. But as far as corrupting any of my channels that way, I just wasn't feeling it. But I said, hey, if you're going to do it and if you get the approval, then you can best believe that I'll be there in your corner, and I'll do my part to make sure that the information gets out and that the cat shit stays out of the bag. And that was something that was decided willingly, without anybody's approval, or without anybody's say so, or without anybody's hinting at us and saying, hey, go it. Hey, oh, it would really be great if all this stuff got spread out there, and if somebody would just... No. This was a deliberate decision made by first Colonel of Wisdom. Then, when she submitted it per my recommendation to Ali Emmett, at first Ali was reluctant about it, but then she started getting more and more bullshit from the likes of I Say This and Kara Smell, that she essentially gave in and said, okay, fine, you want to go ahead and you want to let this out, you have my 100% pure support. And so the fur started flying. And that's how it got started with this mess. It wasn't anybody setting us up to do their dirty work for them. Colonel of Wisdom decided that she wanted to do that on her own. And then when I saw that she was determined to do that, I said, okay, since I want to make sure that this stays out there for as long as it can stay out there, and that it spreads as far as it can spread, I'll get your back on this. I'll make sure that I let other people know, and I'll give suggestions to people, and let's just go ahead and just talk to different people and say, hey, do you want to help in this? Because they were familiar with the BS also. They knew what was going on. They knew who started what and how they wouldn't let it die. And so now you got all these phony apologies coming back. Oh, well, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, and if you had just told me to take the stuff down, I would have taken it down. Lying bitch. Because first of all, how are you going to get somebody to let you know that they want their stuff taken down if you've essentially blocked them, number one, and number two, you don't bother to listen to any of their video uploads? So that in and of itself was a lie. But Kara Smell, of course, was the biggest liar of them all, because she decided that she wanted to get in on somebody's little trick pony there and try to get her little jabs in. And then once she found out that, oh shit, I didn't realize I was messing around with a rabbit Doberman, then she still tries to play all the ups and everything by still talking shit, but she does it in a way to where it's in forums where there's no direct conversation going on. So if an issue gets raised on one video where she's starting somebody's bullshit and she starts getting with the blowback, then she'll keep the beef going, and she'll keep getting her slanderous remarks and disparaging comments in about people. But she'll go over to somebody else's channel to do it, or on somebody else's video to do it, which is far detached from anything where the issues originated. And this is why I call her a coward and a fraud and a hypocrite, because that's her modus operandi. Claim victimhood and yet keep shit stirred up, but out of the forum where it originally had its genesis. And of course, there was the issue of
well, I didn't talk about anybody, and I didn't mess with anybody, and I didn't have anything to say about them for over a year, and they still got all this gripe, and they're still stalking me. And
first of all, nobody's stalking you. You make it too easy to let your activities be known, number one. Because, believe it or not, we actually do watch videos and subscribe to some of the same people that you do. And we just happen to see more of your bullshit and more of your slanderous lies that you spread, both you and that set of panties that you keep sniffing up into. It's not like we're trying to track you down. We already know your game because we see your activity. And we see that you're still talking shit in other forums, on other people's channels, but then you had to do the ultimate thing and you had to make a mock channel. But I didn't talk about anything for over a year. And yet the whole time you had that thing up there, you've either let things stay up there. Well, in fact, you let the channel stay up there. That's bad enough in and of itself. But you also let slanderous videos stay up there, which get feedback. And when they get feedback, then you respond in kind. And if it's not any direct feedback that you get on the mock channel, then you use the mock channel to continue your little modus operandi of spreading slanderous lies and making ad hominem attacks from that mock channel. See, you're too much of a coward to do it from your own channel. So you got to go to a channel that's set up for no other reason than to launch ad hominems and slanderous lies and vitriol. But no, you're not bothering anybody. You haven't talked about anybody in over a year. You're not going after anybody. Explain General Backass then. And no, I'm not upset that you made a mock channel about me. Fuck that. I mean, shit. I kind of makes me kind of feel like I came of age. That I finally arrived at GoogleTube. I'm official now because of the fact that, hey, it's like, one of the gold standards of actually finally getting established on this thing is to piss people off enough to where they just start making mock channels of you. And it's usually just to launch attacks at you. And again, like I said, hey, that's fine. I expected to get attacked when I first started on this thing. What I did not expect and what I will not tolerate are slanderous lies. And if you're going to intend on keeping those going, then I'm going to intend on coming after your ass and burning it like a damn flaming arrow. So, if you want me to stop talking about you, and if you want me to stop dropping your name, or variations of your name, I should say, then prove it. Prove that you're really tired of me coming after you like this. Prove that you're really tired of all the trolls that come after you as a result of me laying the smackdown on your ass. Prove to me that you're the more honorable person and that you really want bygones to be bygones. Take your shit down and shut up. That's all you gotta do. I don't care that you don't like me. I don't like your ass. But you notice, I never make any kind of a commentary or video about you until either you say something that's out of the ordinary, or I find a situation to take a swipe at your ass when I'm coming after one of your cronies. Like I say this with herpes. And I knew that as soon as I had the opportunity to come after her, I was damn sure going to drop your name in on it deliberately. Because number one, I wanted to get a rise out of you, and number two, I wanted to let you know that no, I haven't forgotten about you. I still hold you to account. And you're still going to be on my shit list, at least on my active shit list, let's put it that way. See, you can be on my dormant shit list for time and eternity, and you won't ever have to deal with the ramifications of it, because I won't be saying shit. But as long as you keep it up and as long as you keep going forward, you're on my active shit list. And I will, at any and every opportunity that I deem fit, to come after your ass and burn it like, you know. So again, it's all up to you. However you want to keep doing this. But at this point, I'm just beginning to suspect that you just love the attention that much that you're willing to be a masochist like this, regardless of how much you say, oh, I'm really over this and I really don't want to get involved with this and I'm just done talking about this and I just want to be peaceful and lovey-dovey and pink bunny rabbits and sunflower seeds and all that stuff. Yeah, your mouth talks it, but your walk shows that it's bullshit. So you can keep being pretentious, you can keep going on talking about how much you're being victimized or how you're being stalked or how you're being harassed or how you're being bullied. Well, yeah, I guess at this point you can probably say that you are being harassed, because I'm going to keep putting it to you. As long as you keep your end of the bargain up, I'll keep my end of the bargain up. So if you want to save face, that's all you need to do, is to shut me up. I've said it time and again. If you really want to shut me up and you want me off your ass, take your shit down and shut it up. And then maybe there can be a little peace in your life. But if you want to keep slandering, if you want to keep spreading lies, and you want to keep making yourself look like the false victim, claiming that somebody else is coming after you for no reason at all because you did nothing to provoke anything, then I'll be there. I may not be on your ass like stink on shit all the time, but I guarantee you I will come around. I will remind you that I'm still here. And I'm not going anywhere until either you do or until you just shut up and just leave it alone. Same thing goes for your girlfriend. Still going around trying to make stuff up, talking about, I ever stabbed me in the back. Well, gee, maybe she wouldn't have stabbed you in the back if you hadn't stabbed her in the back first. You ever think about that? See, y'all forget the simple basic truth of physics. Every action results in an equal and opposite reaction. don't think that you can just sling shit and not get a whole mess of it on your own hands. So if it seems like you're losing your support network, maybe you ought to ask yourself what you're doing wrong to lose that support network. You know. So when you frauds and charlatans get it together, stop shoving your own people in front of the train and stop slandering people, those who aren't on your little ticket to ride. Because as I explained just in one of my latest uploads, I have disagreements with a lot of people, the exact same way that I had disagreements with you all. And yet, despite that, those have not turned, most of those, the vast majority of them, even though we might have been at extreme odds with each other, but they never turned into these ongoing flaming beef wars. Do you ever wonder why that was? Maybe they have something else going on in their brains that you don't. Maybe they understand something about heated debate without letting it go to an explosive extreme and taking it personally, or trying to use that just as an opportunity to just throw vitriol at somebody just because it makes them feel good, so they can turn around after they get the smack back and then cry victim. Oh, you're not supposed to hit a girl. Well, I'm sorry, but if a girl punches me in the face, I'm a deck her ass, literally and figuratively. So again, if you want to step up, be prepared to get knocked the fuck down. And if you don't like getting smacked around, stop smacking first, and then you don't get retaliation. Because that's all this has ever been. Anybody who has followed this thing from day stinking one, or at least from its earliest phases, know that this has been nothing but retaliation from the general, and by extension from his XO. In fact, at this point, I have to check my archives. I don't know how it started or who it started with at this point. Actually, the stuff with myself and I say this with herpes zits, that started with me. So that was due to my interactions with her fake phony ass. And then when Vagina Breath 100% decided to get in on it, she started swiping at Kernel of Wisdom. And if I remember that correctly, I believe that's how that started. And then I came in on my XO's defense. Because like I said, you're not going to slander and shit over on top of my friends and not expect me to just, I'm just going to sit back and just watch the fireworks fly. I might do that for a while. But when I see that there's a little helping hand that needs to be put in there, I'll jump in. And you should have known that from the very beginning, because as was mentioned before, you and I had already had our little tete-a-tete. So you already knew what I was about. Not only that, but you also knew who I was. So why you would go around and feeding the slanderous lie that myself and Kernel of Wisdom were the exact same person, when you knew damn well that we weren't. From the very beginning, even before anybody heard of I Say This with Rotten Crotch, you knew who I was. You saw who I was when I first began uploading, when I had my little shtick going on. So why you decided to even go that route? But I don't know, anything to make yourself feel high and mighty and important. So you'll go ahead and you'll jump on a bandwagon to just spread some vitriolic lie, or spread some misinformation about somebody, or slander somebody's character. That's what you do. That's how you do. And so don't be surprised. As I said, you keep stirring around your little twigs and sticks into the fire ant nest. Don't start screaming and hollering and cursing at the fire ants for running up your arms and biting the shit out of you. You stirred the pot. You suffer the consequences. If you don't want to deal with the stinging and the biting, then stop mucking with the fire ant nest. It's really that simple. So, what's your next comeback? Because I know you're going to have one. I'm done making videos about these people. Remember when I called you a liar on your channel? See? You proved me 100% correct. And right now, I gotta get busy because stuff's happening over here and I don't have time to waste refuting your ass anymore. But just let it be known, I still haven't gone anywhere, and until you shut your shit up, I'm not going anywhere. So as I've said these past several uploads, the choice is now and always shall be yours. Where do you want the future to go? You tell me. End of line.